Hey, good morning. What up? What's up, guys? What's good? What's good? Hey, good morning. Today, guys, I'm going to be talking about how the old ways of building wealth don't work. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. And of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to actually share with you the new way of building wealth. So hey guys, as you come on in, if you would like this post, if you would also put your name in the comment box, share it, okay? So this information can get out to more people. Maybe you are already set up. Maybe you are straight. Maybe you already know this information. Chances are you don't. But if you do, share this with information so other people can get this information. Okay. So as you come on in, if you could put your name in the comment box, please like and share. I would greatly appreciate it. So as always, I like to get started on time, and if you don't catch it from the beginning, hey, go ahead, hit the replay. Okay. So listen. So we know throughout time, people have always been looking, searching, and trying to find ways of building wealth, of being able to secure their financial future, of being able to provide for their family and be able to do so without having to sacrifice, scrimp, and save, right? So throughout history, we've always been coming up with ways to do that. And today I'm going to talk about just three. I'm gonna share with you just three of the old ways that don't work today, that people are still trying to use, that people are still trying to employ as their main strategy for building wealth. And just like anything else in the world, things evolve, things change, and we must evolve and change with it if we expect to be able to honestly to keep up. Okay. So I'm going to share with you three old ways that people try to build wealth that are no longer effective. And I'm going to share with you the new way. You're going to want to you're going to want to stay and pay attention to this. I'm going to share with you the new way, which you are probably not going to believe it, but once I explain it to you, you're going to see why. So, if this is your first time joining me, my name is Alex. I am a financial planner and a licensed insurance advisor, and I share with you strategies, ways to build income, create financial freedom so you can live your best life and leave a legacy for your family. So if that's something that interests you, please continue. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. So let's get right into it. Um, the first way, guys, the first way that the first old way that doesn't work is savings accounts. Savings accounts. So we know that banks have been around since the beginning of this country, right? Banks actually funded the trips to found this country, right? So we know that banks have been around since the beginning of this country's history, and so banks have been used throughout history, and people are still trying to use bank accounts as their main way, savings account as their main way of building wealth. So, why do I say it's an old way? I say it's old because, okay, let me make sure my mic is working because sometimes my mic. Yep. Okay. So sometimes people, we've been told throughout history, banks is the way. Put your money in the bank. Open up a bank account. Open up a savings account. Open up a passbook account. I don't know if you guys remember that when you were younger. Open up your passbook savings account. Get you a CD, right? So these were all ways. These are all products that banks promoted in order for them to get our money, right? And so in return, we will open up a savings account, a CD account. We'll open up a money market account. All right. These are all products that have been marketed by banks as a way to get our money. As a result, in return for you depositing your money in the bank, they would give you a return. All right. So, of course, in today's environment, we know that because interest rates have been so low in terms of the bank's ability to borrow money, right? The cost of getting money, of borrowing money for banks is so low that they don't have to give you a big return on your money when you put it in a savings account, CD, or you put it in one of their other products. So because because they don't have to pay you a lot of money, that means that savings accounts and banks are no longer an effective way for you to be able to build wealth. It used to be that you would get 6, 7, 10, 11% for a savings account. No longer. No longer. That does not exist. Okay? So I always tell people, if you're trying to save your way to wealth, it's impossible. Because when you look at how much of a return you can get for your money with savings, CDs, and money markets and those type of investments, the return that you get is so low, and the cost of inflation, the cost of living, right, is so much higher. And so as a result, you're literally losing money by putting your money in a bank. The cost of living today, right now, increases about 7 to 9% a year. That's called inflation. Okay, inflation is always eating at at the value of your money. So the money that's sitting in a savings account is actually, because of inflation. Inflation is taking away 7 to 9% of your money, and the bank is only paying you 1%. So you losing 6 to 8% every year by putting your money in a savings account, a CD, or a bank. Okay? So that is number one. Savings accounts, CDs, money markets, those are the old ways. Those are out. Those are not, those savings accounts is the first old way. You cannot save your way to wealth. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, let's look at it. The second way, the second old way that's no longer effective and working in today's environment is retirement plans and 401k plans. Believe it or not, there is a time right now, the 401k plan is the number one way that people suggest or recommend that you put your money in to save for retirement. It's the number one way. It used to be pensions. If you would work for a company for 30 to 40 years, they would take care of you in your golden years. That went away when they figured out, when they introduced the 401k plan. The person who created the 401k plan, Ted Banner, you can look it up. Ted Banner said himself that the way companies are using the 401k today, it was never designed to be the main way for people to retire, to save for retirement. It was never set up and designed for that purpose. What's the other thing? The other reason why 401ks and other retirement plans are not effective is, once you put your money in a 401k plan or a retirement plan, it is locked up. Okay? That money is now locked up. It is put aside, it is put in the plan, and it's supposed to stay there until you retire. Until you retire or reach the age of 65. Okay? That's the whole purpose. That's the whole, 62 and a half. I'm sorry, 62 and a half. So that's the whole purpose, that the money was supposed to stay there. It would stay locked up until you reach the age of 62 and a half. After that, you would be able to access the money, okay? But you still had to pay taxes on it. So all of those years, the money was building up, it was stacking up, it was gaining. You getting ahead, you winning the game, right? Then when you get to you 62 and a half and you're ready to retire, or excuse me, 59 and a half, you're able to retire, right? Guess what? Now they say, okay, you can access your money, but you got to pay us taxes on it. So you locked up your money, you couldn't use it, right? You couldn't get to it until you're 59 and a half, and you're screwed, right? So that's the second way that retirement plans and 401ks, they were, first of all, never designed to be the main way to save for retirement. That's number one. Number two, when you put your money in a 401k or retirement plan, it is designed to be there and to be locked up until you reach 59 and a half. Okay. If you try to access that money before you reach 59 and a half, you got to pay taxes and a 10% penalty on that money. So there were stiff reasons why you would not want to pull out money from your 401k and your retirement plan. All right? So that's the other way that retirement plans and 401ks don't work. Let me also share with you the other reasons why. The other reason why is monies that are put in 401k and retirement plans, that money winds up in, guess what? The stock market. Okay? The stock market, which is the third way. The third way that the stock market is no longer as effective, in my opinion, is because when you put your money in the stock market, your money is, number one, is subject to being, your gains are subject to being taxed. That's number one. And then number two, the second reason is your money is now subject to being lost in the stock market. Right now, as we speak, the stock market is down roughly about 20, 25, depending on what you put your money in. It's down roughly about 20 to say 30%. Okay. So if your goal, if you were 62 or 65 starting at the beginning of the year, and you said, hey, I put my time in, I've given my time to the man, I've worked all this time period, I've saved and I've invested, and now you said, hey, I've gotten to the place, now it's time for me to retire. And then wham, the stock market drops. It does what it does every 3 to 4 years. You don't have to take my word for it. Go back and look. If you look at the history of the stock market, it usually goes down every 3 to 4 years. That's just how it works, guys. So in order for you to know what you can expect in the future, you got to look at the past. So if you know that the stock market goes down every 3 to 4 years, if you happen to be, say, 52 right now, okay, and you want to retire at, say, 62 or 65, if your money is in the stock market, if your money is in 401ks, which is also in the stock market, you can expect that you're going to have at least 3 different downturns, 3 different market losses in the next 10, 12 years. Because we know it. We know that it happens every 3 to 4 years. So if your money is in the stock market directly, or if your money is in 401ks, then you know you're going to have at least 3 years where you're going to take a loss. Now, the thing about it is you don't really know when that's going to happen. So it's a gamble, which is why it is no longer an effective way of building wealth, in my opinion. Yes, you can get some good returns, but it's just like gambling in the stock market. It's just like gambling in the casino. Eventually, the house is going to want its money back and is going to take it from you. All right. So you may be wondering, well, Alex, you've shown us that savings accounts don't work in CDs, the CD rates. Your money's going to be locked up for just so you can get what 1 or 2%, right? So that's not really effective. The inflation rate nowadays is anywhere between 7 and 9%, and you put your money in savings account in the bank, and you're only going to get one. It's not effective. Number two, your 401k and retirement plans are no longer effective. Why? Because when you put your money there, it is locked up and you cannot access it until you reach 59 and a half. Okay. And if you try to take some of your money out, guess what? They're going to hit you with taxes and a 10% penalty on top of that. And if your money is in retirement plans and 401k, it is also invested in the stock market, which means that your money is at risk of being lost. So, what's the new way? The new way, and in my opinion, perhaps probably the best way, is life insurance. I know. Some people are sitting there going like, "What the heck are you talking about? Isn't life insurance just for having when you die, so people can pay your funeral expenses, and then whatever money is left over can go to your family?" No, no, that's not what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. What we're talking about now is we're talking about indexed universal life insurance. What is indexed universal life insurance? First of all, it is a form of permanent life insurance where you get life insurance plus you have a savings account along with it. That account grows tax free, ladies and gentlemen. That account grows tax free. Also, in addition to that, the account, the returns that you get from your index universal life insurance is tied to the performance of the stock market. Hence the word indexed. Now, the difference with this is you get stock market like returns without the risk of losing money in the stock market. Ladies and gentlemen, this is like having your cake and eating it too. If you wanted to be able to do the history and go and look, you're talking about 7702 accounts, 72E accounts, or 101A. These are all IRS tax codes. The IRS says you can use life insurance as a tax-free investment vehicle. IULs was introduced in 1997. That's the reason why, like I said, this is a fairly new product. Okay. And what's more, most people won't tell you about it. And the reason why people don't tell you about it is because these people, these financial advisors and financial planners and other people, they want your money so they can use your money to make money for them. Did you know $460 billion, that's with a B, $460 billion is traded on the stock market every single day? Every single day. That's a lot of money, people. And they're able to trade, right? Because this is money from 401ks. This is money from IRAs. This is money from people who have invested directly in the stock market. So they're taking all of that money and they're using it. You're using it as a way to build wealth, mostly for themselves. They'll give you a little something, something, right? But for the most part, this is money that they use to trade, to buy, to sell, to hold, to do options, to do forex. This is money that institutions use in order to make themselves money, and they'll break you off a little piece of change every once in a while, but then every 3 or 4 years they'll take it back. That's how it works, guys. Life insurance is different. Life insurance in this case, I'm talking about the Index Universal Life Insurance. It was introduced in 1997. What does it do? It provides you protection for your family in the form of life insurance, but it says, hey, if you get sick, hurt, unable to work, or need assistance in your older age, all right, for living, if you need assisted living, you can use the money for these purposes. Okay, what else? The money grows in your IUL. It grows tax-free, meaning whatever you put into your IUL, however high it gets and however much it grows, you never have to pay tax on that money, ever. Unlike the stock market, you got to pay taxes on it. Okay? What else? The monies that you put into the IUL or Index Universal Life Insurance, you can access it penalty free. So now you don't have to pay taxes to access your money. You don't have to pay a 10% penalty to access your money. People have been using this product and using this strategy since 1997, as I mentioned. And now it's just getting around. Now it's just getting to the place where more and more people are starting to find out about it. More and more people are starting to realize just how powerful this thing is. More and more people are beginning to see the benefits associated with the IUL, that they are suddenly starting to realize that all this stuff that they've been listening to and hearing all the way up until now has been hogwash. It's all been a ploy, a marketing strategy, so the banks, so the investment companies and the institutions can get your money so they can use it to make money for themselves. Now there's a way that you're able to do the same thing they're doing. Now you're able to put your money in the same place that banks are putting their money. Did you know the top 5 banks in this country have over $65 billion invested in life insurance? You didn't know that because they don't want you to know that. And the reason why they have $65 billion put into life insurance is because they know the power of it. What's the power of it? They know that they can put it in there and it grows tax-free. They know that there are no limits as to how much money they can put in there, unlike the 401k, unlike the IRAs and these other investment and retirement accounts that limit you to $6,000. Okay? So they know they can put money in there, it can grow tax-free. But they also know that they can access it at any time. So if they happen to see another deal, if the stock market happens to dip, if they happen to see some other trends that they want to be able to put their money into as a bank or institution, they can now take that money out of the life insurance and put it in some of these other investment vehicles to get double the return. Because whatever monies that are put into the life insurance, they let that money stay in there. They access it through low cost loans and they put it into other investments. Let me tell you something. This thing is awesome. So the IUL was started in 1997. The IUL grows, it builds wealth tax-free. You can access it at any time for any reason, penalty-free. The money in your IUL grows. It gives you a stock market-like return without the risk of losing your money in the stock market. Whatever monies you have invested, whatever monies you have put into it, You can never lose it due to market risk. I always say to people, don't invest in index. Indexing is the best of both worlds, where I can get the upside gains on my money, and I never suffer the losses when the market tanks or goes down like it does every 3 to 4 years. My money goes up, it only goes up. If there happens to be a bad year in the stock market, other people lose money. I do not. My money stays locked in. It stays locked in. What else? You can use this money, guess what? For long-term care expenses if you happen to get sick, hurt, or you have assisted living expenses that you have to pay for. This thing has so many purposes and it has so many options tied into it. And the best thing about it as well is not only can you use the money in your lifetime, not only does it grow tax free in your lifetime, not only can you access it penalty free in your lifetime, once your time here is done, your good work is done on this earth, guess what? You have now just passed on generational wealth to your family, and your family would get what you do not use or utilize. They would actually receive that money tax free. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the absolute best product on the market. This is the new way. The old ways don't work. Savings accounts, money markets, CDs, they're all products created by banks to get your money. They are no longer effective in today's economy. Stock market is no longer effective. I think I deleted my other one by mistake. The other one was 401ks and IRAs. Those things are not effective either, because once you put your money in a 401k plan or another retirement account, your money is going to be locked up and it's going to be there until you reach 59 and a half. You cannot access your money without taxes and penalties on top of that. Okay. And your money is subject to being lost in the stock market. Okay. And we know every 3 to 4 years the stock market is gonna have a drop. And God forbid if your retirement account is sitting in a 401k and your retirement account is invested in the stock market, you get ready to retire, and guess what? You have another down year like what we're having right now. So those people who wanted to retire at the beginning of the year, they're not able to do it. They got to keep working now because they got 20% less money. They got 25% less money. And did you know losses hurt you more than gains will help you? If you have a 20% loss in your portfolio value, you have got to have a 25% gain just to break even. Let me say that again. If your portfolio goes down 20%, for you to get back to even, you got to have a 25% gain just to get back to even. So in this case, losses hurt you more than gains will help you. Life insurance is the new way, guys. And so let me tell you, this is what I have done. I have put my money, I've moved it from the stock market. I have put it in life insurance. And now it's given me, number one, protection for my family. Okay. So if something happens to me, now my family has money to take care of my final expenses. And also there's tax-free money there that they can use to continue to pay bills going forward into the future, to use whatever reason, whatever purpose they want. But in addition to that, while I'm living, my money right now is all the money that I have put in my life insurance policy. I'm not worried about that. On the stock side, my money is dropping 20, 25, 30%. But on the life insurance side, all the money that's put over there If it's a this year down year, my the value of my portfolio has locked in. I do not lose a dime. So let me tell you, there are so many benefits. I grow my money tax free. I can access it penalty free. My money grows without the risk of losing it in the stock market. If I happen to get sick or hurt or need it for assisted living expenses, I can use it for that purpose. And if God forbids, if something should happen to me and I have an untimely death, well, guess what? That money will pass on tax free to my family, which means creditors can't get it, which means that if I can't, my family will get the money directly. I don't have to, they don't have to worry about creditors or taxes or the government coming back saying, we want a piece of the pie too. You don't have to worry about that. So let me tell you, if you want to learn more about index universal life insurance, which I encourage everyone to do so, go to Cannaly.com/Alex Allure. Schedule some time with me and let me show you, first of all, the power of the IUL. And let me show you how you can utilize this new way of building wealth that supersedes, that super outperforms savings accounts, retirement accounts. It outperforms the stock market. Let me tell you something. This is the new way, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to have half a chance of being able to build wealth for yourself, for your family, if you want to be able to have money that you can utilize for any reason, for any purpose, at any time, if you want to have money that grows tax free, then this new way is the way to go. Book your time with me. Go to Cannaly.com/Alex Allure. Let's set up some time and just let me share with you the power of the IUL and answer any questions you may have so you can also build wealth for yourself and for your family. All right. So there you have it, guys. I hope this sincerely helps. I can only tell you what has worked for me, and what I advise and what I have helped countless other families to do as well. This thing is a game changer. You do not want to be left behind. Get on the new way. The new way is life insurance. Go to Cannaly.com/Alex Allure and let me help you build wealth for your family and build generational wealth for future generations as well. So take care. God bless you. We'll see you on the next episode. Be blessed.